In this video, we're going to talk about how to change the key of a song. So we have the song Fresh Wind pulled up. Whenever you have a song pulled up, at the very top, you should see what key the song is in. So Fresh Wind originally is in the key of C. That means if it was not transposed up or down at all, these tracks will be in the key of C. So we're going to talk about how to transpose now. The first thing you need to do is select all of the tracks that you want to transpose. So the rule of thumb for this is you want to transpose anything that has harmonic or melodic content. So in other words, you don't need to transpose drums or percussion because those don't have any type of harmonic content, so you don't need to transpose them. So for this song, everything from the bass all the way down through choir needs to be transposed. The drums and percussion most of the time are going to be at the very top of the project, so that's how you'll know you don't need to transpose those. So I'm going to select the bass track here just by clicking on it, and then if I hold down the Shift key on my keyboard and then click again on the choir track, it will select all of the tracks in between. So bass through choir is now selected, and we're ready to transpose. The first step to transpose is to enable the warp setting. That's located down here at the bottom of the screen. Right here you'll see warp. So right now these tracks aren't warped, so we need to go ahead and set that up. It's very easy. All you have to do is press this warp button, and then you need to make sure it's on Complex or Complex Pro mode. It doesn't matter which one. So I'll just keep it on Complex. So now the tracks are warped and they're ready to transpose. Right next to the warp button over here is the transpose wheel. This is what we're going to use to change the key that these tracks are sounding in. So let's say we want to move up to the key of D. Currently we're in the key of C, so to get to the key of D, we're going to need to go up 2 semitones or 2 half steps. I'm going to include a transposition cheat sheet in this lesson so you have a chart that it'll be easy for you to tell how many semitones, how many half steps you need to move this wheel to get the desired effect. So we need to go up 2, so all we have to do is just click on this transpose wheel until we see it say 2 right there. So I would recommend getting an app on your phone that's either a piano keyboard or a pitch pipe, where basically you can play a note and then play the track and make sure it's in the correct key. I'll play a little bit for you and then I'll move the transpose wheel up and down just so you can hear what it sounds like as the song is being transposed.
Turn around.
All right, so that's really all there is to it. One more example I'll give you is, let's say we want to move down to the key of B. So again, we're going to select all of these tracks. To move from the key of C to the key of B, we need to go down 1 semitone, 1 half step. So again, we just make sure all the tracks are selected, make sure warp is on in Complex or Complex Pro mode, and then move the wheel down until we see it say -1. One more thing you're going to want to keep in mind when transposing songs is that the farther you're transposing the tracks, the worse they're going to sound. So it generally sounds pretty good up until about 5, but if you get farther than that away, the audio is going to start deteriorating and is going to start sounding really weird. Along with that, it's a good idea sometimes if you're transposing a pretty far distance, like 5 semitones or 4 semitones, it's a good idea to listen to the tracks before you play your set and just make sure that they all sound okay. Some tracks tolerate pitch shifting better than others, so some tracks you might need to disable if you're transposing too far away. Also, you might have to transpose up instead of down or down instead of up. A good example of this is if you have a synth bass in the track. Sometimes if you're lowering the key, it will make the synth bass so low that it's almost inaudible. In cases like those, it might be a good idea to pitch shift the synth bass up, even if you're pitch shifting the rest of the audio tracks down. So that's just something to think about, and basically the bottom line there is just listen to the tracks if you're transposing a pretty far distance and just make sure everything's sounding good.